Hi there, so you've made it inside the Story Chief editor. My name is June and I'm right up there at the top of the screen with you. Now, if you're struck at first by how clean and white your canvas is, it's because the Story Chief editor was made for writers by writers, so there's very little to distract you from the actual creative process. As a matter of fact, if you look down at the left-hand corner of your screen, you can see exactly when your work was last saved. Because Story Chief does that for you every few seconds, so you don't have to. All you have to do is focus on the writing. But who's writing this story? Because it might not always be you. That's why it's always a good idea to head up to the right-hand corner of your screen and click on the ellipsis to add an editorial brief. Because what this editorial brief does is, as a writer, it keeps you focused on your message. And if you happen to be working on a team or with a freelancer you've hired, it keeps everyone on the same page. So let's suggest a title here for whoever is writing this. Then you can drop down and clearly detail your story's what, who, why, and how. You can even add additional resources that you think might be helpful in the creative process and give your story a word count. You can then pop into this calendar here and set a deadline, and once that date's been applied, it'll drop right into your Story Chief content calendar, which we'll cover in another video. Now at this point, you can either save this editorial brief for yourself, or you can go and find story creators just in case you don't have all the creative artists you need in-house. Story Chief has a pre-screened pool of professionals in our talent network at your fingertips, from writers to photographers, illustrators, and designers. But for the purposes of this onboarding process, we're going to assign this story to a colleague. All you have to do is either invite someone new by creating a new user in the drop-down menu, or just for fun, we're going to scroll down the names here and add my alter ego, June the guest writer. Once we've added her, we'll see her face pop up next to mine. I promise my multiple personalities are all harmless, but we can just use our imaginations if we want to. Now, at this point, you can either choose to keep your editorial brief up on your screen as guidance, or you can close it. But in our next session, we'll drop some text into this story and bring it to life.